We're here on the merit to join you all together with Emuna as our future. Now what? What are we going to do, guys? That's the question. Now what? Now is the real focus. And what are we going to do? What are we? That humility, that ability to go with the flow, even this class. That's why I'm almost speechless, which is unusual. Yeah. You know, Nissan Black jokes many times about how rabbis have some sort of malady where they can just go on and on and on. Thank God I'm not a rabbi, so I don't have that issue. And I've been away for about 2 weeks in the studio because we did have a class here, thank God, with Shefa, the Shefa band. Awesome class. We put it up, the studio session and the full class. Check it out. They even put it up on their platform. We appreciate it. They're sharing the content, what they experienced here, the divine flow, the energy. And we're happy to be back after a wonderful Chag Shavuot. Amazing time, Kabbalah Torah. And in the merit of the Rav was meant to be here yesterday, and that's why everything was pushed off a day because of the Chag, because of Kabbalah Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu came back a day late, and that's where all the problems started. So now what? So the question is, Rav Arush had to come yesterday, but in the end, he's actually coming today. So my class had to come back an extra hour earlier, but then that hour started a little bit later. As you can see, it's already another 15 minutes. So this is part of the flow that we're apologizing firstly for the time change. We'll be back our regular time, I hope, next Tuesday. I'm almost promising or offering that if the studio is unavailable, I will just go into my home again and do another class there, because then I don't have to worry about the potential, delay of the class. I like to keep it fixed and one time. We used to have it Monday, now it's on a Tuesday, and today it's on a Wednesday. So we don't have any sphera, we don't have any ability to count on a spiritual level what the day is, but it is a Yemei Tashlumim of Shavuos. These are the days that complete and round off the light and absorb the energy. I've just been absorbing the cheesecake. I don't know if you guys have, all the leftovers, thank God. I literally just had, before I came here, I got the message I need to come early. I was just finishing it off. Wow, amazing. Shavuos, energy. We have to enjoy the light and the inspiration and the spiritual inspiration, the spiritual leftovers, and bring it inside, as we've mentioned many times. Very important. And we went from Parshas Naso, which you guys out there in the rest of the world are holding in right now, the biggest Parsha of the Torah. And you can check out last week's class, how I spoke about Parshas Naso. And this week's class, we're going to talk more about Baloscha. Baloscha, by the time it will go live, probably on the website, I assume, unless a miracle happens, that it will go live next week. So that will fit perfectly with you guys who are tuning in now from the rest of the world on the website. But for everybody else who's here live and on our podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, we're going to be posting it this week of Parashas Baloscha, the week of Shavuot. And we want you guys to get as much inspiration that's relevant for this week and for next week, depending on which parsha you're at. Because remember, they're on 2 separate time zones. So when you're in such a place of flux and things aren't exactly like lined up exactly how you want it, the key is to live now, to be present. And that's perfect opener for the week's guest that we're having on Sunday, our Sunday Emunalive class with Rav Dayan Elgon. Unfortunately, just mentioned to me that he himself won't be there, but thank God we have a wonderful guest, Dr. Benjamin Epstein. Yes, PhD, Rabbi Epstein, Benji Epstein, Ben Epstein, however you want to call him. He is going to be attending our wonderful Sunday class. Someone says they want a Spanish translation. Sorry. I can say gracias, but that's about as much as it goes. Even though, thank God, my parents are actually currently in Spain. They go there routinely. I don't speak much Spanish, and I remember a little bit from when I was a kid, but not enough to do a class. Sorry. You have to go to Breslev Español for the Spanish class. Breslev English, thank God, we're here. And I do appreciate people reaching out. Remember, like, share, all that good stuff. Get this class pumping, especially when we're live. I know we're a little bit delayed time-wise, but you guys are welcome to join us. So I want to ask you to also remember that this Sunday, please come. It will be hopefully on the Sunday night, emunalive.com. partner there. Join us in campaigning in our Emunalive Tour, Emuna Tour 2022. Very important that we get that partnership to keep these classes going, especially in English. It's Breslev English, this is Breslev Israel, Breslev English. We want to thank again our host, Rav Shalom Arush, who will be in the studio shortly. Hopefully I have the merit to see him as he comes in. As I finish my class, please God, very excited to see the Rav. We'll be doing a live class in most likely Hebrew and Lashon Kodesh. Will we get Rav Shalom Arush back to our class in English? Everyone keep praying. Yeah, we definitely would love him to come back. But like I was saying before, we have Dr. Epstein. He's going to teach us about living in the present. So tuning into the light that is here. The light's in your life right now, the Ratzon Hashem, the will of God. Yes, someone's saying Shalom already, or Shabbat Shalom. Wow. Yeah, Wednesday, L'chun and Anana. We're already getting ready on Yom Revi for Shabbat. That's true. That's the middle of the week, and we already start preparing the energy and preparing the home and preparing our mind, preparing our soul, preparing our heart for Shabbos. Thank God, Parshas Baloscha this week. So we have also a musical guest coming this Sunday. His name's Beinani official. Shmuel Stenger is an old friend of mine. I remember learning with his brother all those many years ago, and himself would be in the studio. He was meant to be here during the 3 weeks. It was our Bein HaMitzarim highlight class. I think it was Shabbat Chazan, Erev Shabbat Chazan, and it was the time we were doing a special class, and unfortunately he wasn't able to make it last minute, so he's making it up now. It's never too late. That's one of the principles of Judaism and life. It's never ever too late. You can always do tshuva. You can always fix what was while you're still alive. After 120 maybe then that's a little bit harder. But hopefully, if you've left good descendants and progeny, they'll keep that energy going. So I just remember now, we are on Yomei Tashlimim, so we can fix up whatever Shavuos we weren't so focused maybe as much as we should have been. Bit distracted by the cheesecake and by the tiredness. Personally, I try to do it very balanced. I didn't push myself too much. I slept well, I ate well, and I, thank God, was able to learn and do the tikkun. I was able to, thank God, eventually made it to the mikveh during these days, thank God, so that was part of the hashlama. Everything sort of works out the way Hashem wants it, and it's about tuning into a healthy, balanced flow. There is times to be a little bit extreme in ruchnius, like push yourself a little bit in spirituality. But personally, I'm at a point in my life where I've decided that the middle way, the more balanced way, is for me the most spiritual thing I could do. So I'm going on a healthy path as best as possible. The first thing I did after Shavuos was go swimming. Just after all that food, you need to swim. Personally, I actually didn't eat that much. I just didn't have the appetite other than a lot of fruit, which is always a pleasure. The summer, it says Yemei Bekurim. These are special days of fruits. We want to see the peiros, the fruits of our maisim, of our actions, of our learning. Parasem, Balamazeh, B'kayin Kemetz Lamabah. And the idea of the mitzvahs are fruits, and the bountiful Kain Kayemes, this big shefer of abundance, is our Olam Haba. That's the Torah, that's the spirituality, that's the learning. And that's why it's important when you join this class, L'shem Kiddush Baruch Shchintei, as we had Shefa sing so beautifully, that we're doing these classes for the sake of the unification, the united souls. We're trying to bring together everyone on a spiritual level, whoever joins in. These last many classes are getting way above 10,000 views on Facebook. I hope they're long views, not just like coming in and coming out, like actual experiencing the message and taking that moment to actually absorb the message. Just like we said, it's very important to be present. So even online, if you're in a class, you have to sort of focus yourself and not get pulled off to the before and afters and all the other great addictive content that's out there. Shem Shemenu, that there's so much online, and when you're already holding a phone, to choose to home into these classes and pay attention to what I'm saying is a big merit, not because of me, but because of the fact that I had this merit myself to be by Torah personalities. Like I was just this Shabbos and Yom Tov by the Talmud Rebbe, and he was talking and giving over some beautiful Torahs about David HaMelech and about the importance of Sameach B'Helko and the idea of being in Yerushalayim and understanding the Kedusha of Yerushalayim and also the Kedushas of Yom Tov, to understand how special and holy the Yom Tov is, and also talking about very holy people from our not so far past. But obviously he's quoted his Rebbe, the original Tolna Rebbe, David Tolna, Panei Menachem, one of the Ger Rebbes, but also he was quoting some very beautiful stories from the wonderful, personally, the Daf Yomi Rebbe. I get a lot out of trying to keep up the learning. This is one of the ways of bringing Shavuos with us, to keep up that consistency of learning a page a day of Talmud, and the one who put that into place was the Heilige of Meir of Lublin. Yeah, we all know him as Yehuda Meir, or I think the name that we have is a Daf Yomi Rebbe, and it's very important to understand that his light, Meir Shapiro, was to light up, literally his name's Meir, to bring light to the Jewish people and to bring the Ahavas Torah and the love of Torah, to bring it with us, to take those Gemaras, as the Rebbe told the Rebbe, mentioned in his drushes, to take the Gemara and dance with it, not just the Sefer Torah, but Shavuos, we can take the books that we learn and dance with them. Not like Simchas Torah, without the Torah, we can dance with the actual, like Sefer Torah, but we have the Torah books. We have the Svarim, we have these one, the Garden of Emuna, dance around the house with all the Garden of Emuna books, to make it part of your life with joy and focus. And that's the kind of energy that we need to give to Shavuos and bring it with us. So you're asking now what? What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to have that joy of Yom Tov and bring it into our daily life, bring what we're learning into actions so that we're producing the right fruits and, as we said, the progeny and the ability to continue this in an eternal way, in an Emuna way, the way that is internalized in a real way that makes a difference in how we live and how we function, our relationships. It's healthy, it's positive. And we should also pray for Shefa during this time, as well as we had the Shefa ban, but also to understand that there's a divine Shefa, divine abundance about to come down into the world consistently, especially after such a festival during these, thank God, 49 days we counted. It's a big success, whoever managed it. I was blessed to do it. Here someone's writing the meaningful Emuna, the Menorah podcast. Yeah, Midnight Rabbi. Thank you, Yosef Danil. We miss you. Yeah, we hope to bring you in the studio in the right time, please God. Alec, some of the studio team are here already. Going to be starting to set up for the Rav. So, Baruch Hashem, we're going to keep this class focused as best we can. We're living in the now, that's the idea. And this week's class on Sunday is called Living in the Present. So that's very much consistent. We've had the Be Here Now song from Ari Lesser, which we're still waiting for from our studio team. Maybe might give them a nudge, actually, after we finish this class, see where it's holding. There's been a lot of editing going on there. Hopefully it's going to come out amazing. And we'd love to have Yosef Danil at some point do like a track in the studio. He's definitely worthy of it, just has to work out logistically the right time. Well, good news as well, Rudy Rochman's looking to come on a Sunday, not this Sunday, but probably the Sunday after. And that would be an amazing opportunity to meet him and to connect with him. Rabbi Elgad hopefully be back. He's Baruch Hashem making simchas, so he'll be returning hopefully for that class. And we hope, like we say, that there's an opportunity still for the Rav to come in person to New York. And that's really, once again, it's about tefillahs. Rav Shalom Arush in New York be a tremendous opportunity. A lot of people there are interested in Brooklyn and Monsey, and obviously we'll try to do some sort of collaboration share with some larger organizations like Chazak or maybe Gedalia Fenster. Will be a special time to do a joint class together, try fill up the Lincoln Center, something big, be amazing. But, we have to keep being optimistic. But one of the things personally I'm going through right now is it's the wedding season. This is the bar mitzvah season. It's a bat mitzvah season. This is a time of simchas. Parshat Balascha is a busy parsha. If you go to the parsha, coming to you soon, please God, there's a lot of Leibedic energy going on there. A lot of interesting concepts, Pesach Sheni, and the idea of not speaking Lashon Hara right at the end of the parsha, and the idea, loads of important points, and not going after your desires, but remember we're on a journey and having these trumpets to guide us, then give us the awakened energy to go ahead, like shofars, to wake our souls up and to go ahead. And the chatzrosis, that's the name of them in Hebrew, and all the different machane and everyone going in the camp and everyone in their position and having seder, and then all the balagan that came with the desires and everything going difficult. And then there was the challenges of, we see in the parsha some pretty big challenges we've received Yim Saron. There's a big light of the Torah, and we divide up Parshas Balascha into three parshas, really, or really into three Sifrei Torah. That's what it's brought down, because the minimum of Parshas Balascha of Yim Saron, those amount of words, I think it's 72, the Shem Hashem, the idea that has in it the power and the kedusha of the whole Torah. If you learn in Gemara Shabbos, I have to double check the amount of words and osius letters needed, but if you go to to Shabbos in the Talmud and explains from Parshas Balascha those three lines, that has the power to push away all the negativity, as Orach Chaim HaKodesh says, when the Aron HaKodesh travels, and the Jewish people are traveling together with the Torah. That's the idea. When we're going to go on these journeys in our life, we have to bring the Torah with us, like that famous picture of Meir Shapiro holding the Sefer Torah as he was traveling, and all the other tzaddikim used to make sure they had a Torah with them. And we know from all these special people that they wouldn't go to a place unless there was an ability to have a Sefer Torah, to be able to lane, to connect to the Torah, the light of the Torah, to vive and so on. And the Aron HaKodesh, this was the place of Gilui Shechina, of Hashem revealing himself in the full sense and speaking to the world through the Kruvim, to the Jewish people and to the whole world. This is really where all our Torah, Kimasi and Teisei Torah B'Davai Shalayim, it comes out of that place of intimacy, the Kruvim and the Aron Kodesh, where Hashem gave us the Shnei Luchos Bris. We put them in there, the broken ones and then the second ones. Baruch Hashem. This place is where the Hashem's revealing himself in this Aron HaKodesh, and this gives the light. Every time we bring out a Torah, it's like me'ain, this like a smaller version of this light, and it pushes away all the negativity and it gives us the ability to travel with success. Like I'm going to be going to Amsterdam in a few weeks, to go there with success, like a deer, running in and running out. Not going to be there much time, but enough time to pick up the Nitzosis, as the Balatanya says in the Kuti Torah. The idea of running through, or Torah, or in Parshat Yisro, running through the valley like a deer. You never really touch down. The feet are always like floating along, like Tzvi, the holy days of Am Yisrael Eretz Tzvi, this place. We're picking up sparks. That's the idea of our journey. And we're carrying with us the Torah. You have to visualize these concepts. This is the idea of Torah's emes. It's about getting your imagination to visualize the true reality. And the idea of prayer is to bring down the Shefa. So that's the constant back and forth relationship of learning the truth and bringing down the true reality. So imagination's tuned in, as Rav Shogafai Menovich, another tzaddik he mentioned, my Rebbe, this week. The idea of bringing down this true way of thinking and then being able to, thank God, pick it up. And now we must not fail to mention Rabbi Nachum ben Feiga, Nachum ben Simcha. Unfortunately, my oldest son wasn't in the house, so I didn't learn as much Likutei Halachos as I usually do when he's around. He was away in the yeshiva, Baruch Hashem, learning, thank God. And I had my other sons learning. I was learning Gemara and other things. So I didn't get to Likutei Halachos this Shavuos, unfortunately. So that reminds me, this Shabbos, we're going to have to get really busy with Rabbi Nachman's Torahs again. But one of the important things we know from Rav Shalom Arush, from Tzaddikim, the idea of tuning in to the present is very much an Emuna concept. It's very much a Breslev concept of breathing. Mentioned many times from Gedalia Fence to the idea, the power of breathing. And hopefully it's something we'll talk about a bit more with Rabbi Epstein. And you guys, Dr. Epstein, should send in questions for him. He's a very big expert on well-being. And these are concepts that our society needs more than ever, with the emotional struggles, the mental struggles. Look what's going on in the world, all these shootings and all this crazy stuff going on in the court system. Thank God Johnny Depp won, but it's crazy stuff going on. The lack of Shalom bias in the relationships in the world, the lack of ability that people are joined together, all this still pushing this whole corona thing that we can't just go places, and everything's very in flux, very difficult right now in the world, the inflation, all the challenges. So we need a lot of mental well-being, a lot of mental strength, a lot of emotional strength. We need to strengthen ourselves. We need to tune into a healthier way of being, breathing, and in touch with our essential self, so that we have the grounding of our being in this world in a healthy way, that we can cope. And like it says in Pirkei Avos, our shoroshim, our roots are very deep, but yet we're also able to reach upwards as well into the spiritual places as well. So we're grounded, but yet we're connected. And that balance of yesh ma'ayin, of tuning into the true reality and yet being very real with the reality we find ourselves in, like the Metzias, the fact that life can be very difficult and struggle-filled. We have to fight that part of ourselves. We have to constantly be up and energized and ready for the war, as it says in Mesilat Yeshayaim, that we have to have constant battlefields on a certain level, but at the same time, that once we're going through that battle, we do get these moments of peace to really appreciate and say, thank you, Hashem, that we were able to succeed and we're able to have the strength to bring that Emuna mindset. And Rav Arush takes it a step further. Yeah, in the Schus of Rabbi Nachum ben Feiga, Nachum ben Simcha, he brings it to the point where we should be thanking Hashem throughout. That's already a high level. We all have to bring it into reality. He's giving us those guiding words of the power of thank you Hashem throughout the process, even when it doesn't seem to go so well. Like, thank you Hashem, this class has been moving around. Thank you Hashem, personally, financially, it's been a more difficult time period. We're not traveling as much, able to do as such. So now we're stepping it up again, asking Hashem to open up the abundance, opening up the Unity bookings, open up the Emuna Tour, Emunalive.com, open it up. And it's up to you guys to partner, make it happen. You got all the links in the description. make it happen. There's opportunities there, great artists. You're making simchas, please God. We'll bring a beautiful singer, a beautiful band. We got unbelievable artists available right now. 18 Cats, please God, I'll be helping getting him to Amsterdam, but we can bring him to your location. Shira Choir, Hasidic singers like from the authentic, talented traditions, and bringing it into the Simcha, Baruch Hashem. They can do a cappella without any music. They can do it with music. We can bring other friends of theirs as well. You know, in the past they were sang with wonderful people like Arush Samet and Shalom Lema, people that can bring joy to your simchas. And it's a very important thing that as we go out of Shavuos during the Sphira days, and we're now heading towards the 3 weeks, we have a time period of simchas. And after the 3 weeks again, another long time period of simchas till we get till we touch on Elul or mid Elul, and then we're already heading towards the holy days. And then only after all of Tishrei, finally simchas pick up again. So I'm reaching out now to give you the opportunity to tune into those special talented people who can sameach you, like Nissim Black, come to your wedding, please God. I'm just organizing an event for him to be sameach bochurim, students who are needing a little bit of chizuk. So he's the kind of guy who does. I was just watching Barry Weber. I don't actually work with Barry Weber, but I know how amazing what he's doing with his yeshiva. I was checking out with Menachem Toker, and if you guys heard of him, he's doing great things. And there's amazing people out there really picking up souls and picking up sparks in all the different places that they go through traveling. And the idea is, if you're with the Torah, if you're grounded in Torah, grounded in values, and this is where the world, my wife was just saying to me, my soulmate, and I remind you guys, the relationship flow, we had her feature, thank God, last week, before Shavuos, thank God, and you can check out the links below. The idea that she mentioned that the society needs values more than ever. This is a time where we should be constantly strengthening our values, learning more about it. Thank God there are organizations out there teaching values still, representing values, trying to bring that even on the political level and hopefully in the legislative level, excuse my language, to be able to bring it to the Maisa, to practical life, daily life for the world and for our families, for our friends, for our school systems. We need to have values. We need to have ability to guide people. It's not whatever. It's not now what, yeah, so in our world, now what? It's not whatever. It doesn't just go with the flow like some hippie thing. No, it means now, akshav, what? What does Hashem want from me? That's the difference, big difference. What does the Creator want from me? Anachnu ma, what am I? To be able to just make up my value system, to make up new systems? No, as even Tony Robbins always used to say, yeah, why recreate the will? Why make new systems when the system of creation, not man-made systems, the system of creation has so much wisdom, so much value, and the Neflas Abora has so much, the wonders of creation has so much hints and guidance towards how we can live a more fulfilled, happy life, and to be able to hopefully respect other people and live with people together, respect other people's ways of life, and to be able to bring unity and bring love and truth to the world, but not in a hippie way, like whatever way, but with intention. It's something that's become, thank God, much more clear that we need to have mindfulness, we need to be aware of what we're doing. And even that will bring us to a better state of mind, a better way of living, a healthier way of living. And this is something which, thank God, and with all the noise going on in the Parsha and in the world right now, we have the ability of Imbatzaran to hold on to the Torah. And even though the Torah divides up into different Sifrei Torah, and then it adds on now 7, and that's according to the Kabbalah mentioned in the Sphira days, there's 7 weeks. There's also 7 Sphirot, divine emanations. So each part of the Torah is a different Sphira. So right now we're moving away from Netzach in Parshat Bamidbar. Already we're going straight into Hod and then back to Yesod, and that's really where we're holding in these last 3 Parshas of the Torah, the Sifrei Torah. We're holding at the climax of coming Bob Ba'aretz, which is already Devar and Malchus. We're at this climax of the year now. We're now in this in the Parshas are giving us the light and the energy, how to go and travel through the following months, through the summer days, through these hot days, these Yemei Bikurim, these days of Anovim, these days of difficulty and seemingly difficulty. And you say, well, it's not the Ben Mitzrayim yet. It's not the 3 weeks. Yeah, but you have to understand, it's already late. The world's heated up already. There's already starting to be that transition now. We're not in such an organized system like during the Sphira day. We're not, maybe a lot of people finishing in the yeshivas, they're learning, or their learning goes into a different level of learning. It doesn't feel as strong maybe, but the real key is to bring that light. Yeah, even if you have a vacation, to bring it with you, bring the Torah with you, bring the Gemara with you, bring the Talmud with you, bring a little book of Mishnah, so a little book of Rabbi Nachman, Outpouring of the Soul in English, or all these little books that are printed, even if it's by Breslev.org, other organization. We wish them all success. Bring that little book with you. Bring Garden of Emuna books when you're in vacation. Time to really internalize the teachings. Yeah, think about that before you go anywhere. Thank God I'm going to go to Amsterdam. Thank God on my phone I have so much Torah every day coming into my phone through emails. I got the Chatanya, and I got all the different other things. I got the reminders about different classes that come up. Thank God. Yes, unity. That's right. We have to comes together unity with value system. It comes together with being in a healthy state. We can't really unify with other people if we're living in a mess. We're not in a good situation ourselves. So we have to work really hard to make sure that we have the ability to focus and to internalize what we're learning, so it should impact our daily life. So for example, I'm doing the unity bookings. I want you guys to reach out. I want you guys to share. If you know someone making a simcha, you've got the link. I've got lots of artists. I only mentioned a few, but if you go to the link, there's loads. We're going to be adding more. We've got DJ Huda Crystals in the house. Remember, we can be a DJ. A lot of people like to have DJs at their simchas nowadays. We can bring, culminate all different types of talent to you. It's just a matter of you reaching out to us, and thank God this studio has been an amazing place to host so many of these talented souls, and they've shared those talents. I'm going to end off the class now. It's the last few minutes before the studio team gets into the studio and begins getting ready for the Rav. And we thank God the Rav is healthy enough to start functioning more and more, giving classes. So we'll pray that he'll join us in the English class. Shalom Ben Yamno, dedicate the class to him, and also to the memory of Uri Zohar, someone who knew the Rav and had a big influence on many of the Balet Tshuva. Uri Zohar unfortunately passed away just before Shavuos, so we dedicate this class to him as well. I'm very excited to have him part of the whole process of Klal Yisrael, and be able to be in the tshuva world, the world of return, the world of people who taught Torah in such a strong way. I was even watching a class last night about richuz, focus, for like kids nowadays. They're all on some sort of medication, God forbid, or they're needing some sort of guidance on how to focus more in the class system with all the distractions of the world. So that's one of the big things, is idea of having that ability to connect into the teachings and the learnings. And it was amazing, just, suddenly Uri Zohar is presented as one of the teachers, and he was talking about it, very much how important it is. And, this is the important way of understanding that the tzaddikim, the guides of each generation are sent to us. And they're here, like Rav Arush and Rav Uri Zohar, they're here for all of us to be able to help guide us and help our families, help give us that tradition, that value system, even about tshuva, who's reconnected. They're bringing so much spark, so much inspiration. Myself, I believe that very strongly, that we're coming from outside, but our souls were always inside. We're never really on the outside. We were always inside. We never really separate or distant from Hashem, even though it seemed like we grew up in that world outside. But really, if Einam Avado and Hashem's guiding everything, there's nothing but Hashem. So really, within everything, there's Hashem Yisparach. And we have to tune into that light, Baruch Hashem, that's within, and realize that it's guiding us. So we don't have to feel so alone, God forbid, or distant. We're always attuned to that essence of who we are, the soul level, the united soul level. So anyway, so I'm going to end off wishing all a beautiful rest of the week. We've only got a few more days now. It's going to be Shabbos Meloscha in Eretz Yisrael, and you guys out there in Nassau, Parshas Nassau, Hashem's lifting you up. And for those tuning in already the week after in Eretz Yisrael, it's going to be, I believe, Koirach, I think, after the Sitzes. That's next to the Shabbos after. So it's going to be Koirach, because, we end off with the Shmir Saloshan, the idea, and we go straight to Koirach. I think that's correct. If anyone wants to correct me, or Shlach. Is it Shlach or Koirach? Come on, guys, help me out. Yes. We'll be there next week, please go. We'll figure it out, because we're living now. That's the point. Right now, there was one tzaddik who once said, his name's Motul Zilber. He said he can never be in another parsha. So he's only in one parsha, one moment, as we already have from Rav Elgod, this 5 minutes. You only can be in this moment now. So he would, as if there was no other parsha other than the parsha he was in. So maybe I'm feeling that as well. I don't even know what's coming next. What I do know is we're Parshat Beloscha in the Holy Land, and we have the ability to go up, to be lifted up by what we went through during Shavuos, and to bring it with us. Remember, travel with the Torah, travel with values. Live your life with value focused. understand Anachnuma, Moshe and Aaron, the most humble people. They understood on the deepest level how they were nothing in a certain level. What are we? They were able to question themselves in a real way, take responsibility for themselves, and that's the key, please God. With that anivus, with that humility, that's the key to Baruch Hashem, to makabel the Torah, to really receive the Torah completely, and to live your whole life with Torah on a daily level, on a moment level, and to live the now, the spiritual Emuna and clarity. Amen. We're blessed. I can't wait to see you again on Sunday. We'll have Dr. Epstein and Beinani official is going to be singing in the studio. It's going to be an exciting class. Be there on Sunday. Keep sharing all the content we're putting out right now, and much love. Have a wonderful week.